Hey everyone, welcome back. I am doing my mid-year empties check-in. I try to do these quarterly. I'm a little bit behind on this one, but I have a lot of good stuff that I want to share with you. If you're new here, I always say that empties reviews are the best review I can give of a product, best as in the most accurate review I can give, because I get to see the full lifespan of a product from the second it comes into my life to the second it leaves. So I get to see not only how the formula changes or doesn't change, if my opinion changes over time, but I also get to review things like packaging and where a certain product fits into my routines over time. So I always love giving these reviews, and this time I'm not only sharing what I've emptied, the value of that thing, the quantity of the number of products I've emptied, but also what I've replaced the empty products with in my collection. I also always preface these videos by saying that my consumption practices would look really different were I not a beauty creator. I would frankly probably have a lot less luxury beauty in my life. So I just like to be honest about those things because I don't want to set unrealistic expectations of what you should or how you should be using products. So in 2022, thus far, I've used up a total number of 87 beauty products with a total value of $2,590. Since April, which was my last check-in, I've used a total of 49 items with a total value of $1,542. I'll spare you, I won't review all 49 items, but I am going to go through the kind of important, notable products that I emptied. I am actually filming this video for the second time, and the first time I filmed it all without sound, and then I recycled the empties. Brilliant. So a lot of these empties I don't have in my hand physically to show you, but I'll include photos on screen. I'll link everything below, and you're going to see the replacements that I have in my collection right now. I'm gonna start with makeup, and first up is the Patrick Ta Major Brow Lamination Gel. So you've all seen me use this on camera multiple times. This is a brow gel that I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with. It's so effective when it works well for creating that super laminated, like hair glued down, sleek, sexy brow. But I do find this really finicky. It's basically like a clear brow glue, which I like. However, this has a tendency to be very stringy. Like when you pull the wand out of the tube, even now you'll be able to see, I think, it gets really stringy and gunky. And when you go to apply it to the brow, if you don't lay it down completely flat against the skin and part of your brow lifts up, or throughout the day, part of your brow lifts up, it can turn into a white, flaky mess. And that's not always true, but the longer you have this product and the older the formula gets, the more gunky it gets. So I actually find it has quite a short lifespan for a brow product. And I didn't even get through the whole tube before it became too much of a pain to use. But I've actually returned to my Benefit 24-hour brow setter. This is the original clear brow glue, essentially. And this is a much wetter formula. It starts out looser, it's not as tacky straight off the bat, but it gives you a little bit more time to play. I'm wearing it today. It gives you time as it's setting to really brush the brow in place. And I just find it's a little bit more forgiving, but it's also long lasting throughout the day. And I have less of a margin of error, I guess, with the 24-hour brow setter. So I did love this, but I'm back with the OG. Then I have 4 tubing mascaras, and I probably should do a tubing mascaras roundup because I am a huge fan of tubing mascaras, and if you're not familiar with what those are, they are mascaras that essentially form tubes around your lashes. They have fibers that often latch onto your lashes, and when they dry down, they become really smudge-proof. They remove best with warm water, so they come off in little tubes, essentially. I love tubing tubing mascaras because they don't smudge, and oftentimes they're a lot more forgiving on the lashes over time than a waterproof mascara, like a traditional waterproof mascara. So I tried out a ton of them over the last 6 months, and I've emptied 4. So let's talk about my least favorite. Unfortunately, the M Cosmetics, the name of the product isn't on here, but it's the M Cosmetics mascara. This was not my favorite because I found the formula to be extremely wet. It took a long time to dry down, which meant that if I were not holding my lashes like right in the middle, it would smear above my eye or below my eye before the formula dried down. And because it is so wet, I actually didn't find it to be very buildable, and the wetness of the formula would actually weigh my lashes down. And I have very fine, delicate, straight Asian lashes, and yeah, the combination of wetness and the lack of buildability, it just didn't work that well for me. Then these 3 I liked for different reasons. The Merit mascara I found to be really beautiful for creating a delicate, fluttery, defined lash. The wand is very easy to use. It's super defining. You can see the bristles there. There's a lot of space between the bristles, so it helps you spread out the formula really evenly across the lash, and I would definitely repurchase this. I also love the Half Caked Totally Tubular mascara, and this is the most affordable out of the 4 mascaras I'm mentioning. I think it's $12, and this is such an underrated mascara. Half Caked beauty in general, I always say, is underrated. So this is a tubing mascara that comes with a few different wand options. Basically, you can pick. And so I got the one that is slightly curved, and this has some spikier bristles. I think it's a plastic wand. And so the spiky bristles really act as a comb through the lashes. And this allowed me to really build it up and layer it up without it looking like spider legs around the eyes. And the curved bristles were also really nice because it let me get into every single corner and grip onto every baby lash. Lastly, I have the Kevyn Aucoin Volume Mascara, and this is the most dramatic, volumizing, uber black tubing mascara that I've ever tried. So it comes in a skinny tube, and even though this wand is skinny, it has very short and kind of separating natural bristles. And so these fibers actually allow you to pick up and distribute a good amount of product while also being able to comb them through the lashes. If you have found that other tubing mascaras just aren't giving you the drama that you want, if you like a super volumizing mascara, this might be the one to try. I shockingly don't have a tubing mascara open at the moment, which is very unusual for me, but I am testing a few different mascaras that I actually really like. You all know I love the Rare Beauty mascara. I think this is a perfect everyday mascara. It creates a fluttery, lengthened, but not overly voluminous lash, and it's super smudge proof. I also just recently started testing the Freck Lash Rocket mascara. It's what I'm wearing today, and this is really impressing me. This is giving me insane separation and also length. The one con I would say is that it can smudge, so I always use this with a mascara base, my Peri Para one. As mascaras dry out in the tube, sometimes they get a little bit less smudgy, so we'll see, TBD. And then I also have the Chantecaille Faux Cils Longest Lash Mascara. And I think this brush, I mean, it's a little bit thicker than the Kevyn Aucoin one, but they have a really similar effect. I also emptied a Skindinavia makeup setting spray, which I almost never empty setting sprays. It takes a long time to get through those. And if you're not familiar with Skindinavia, they're, I think, manufactured in the same company, in the same factory that the Urban Decay All Nighter is. So they're very similar in finish, in performance, and the way they wear and extend your makeup over time. Right now, I am using the Milani Make It Last Flora setting spray. This is just like a floral scented limited edition version of their Make It Last setting spray, and I do really like this. I think it has a little bit more shine than the Skindinavia one, but it's honestly not super noticeable. And if anything, I just lightly tap over any shiny spots with a powder brush and it just takes care of the shine, but it does make my makeup last all day. And of course it's a drugstore option, so that's always nice to have around. This is kind of a random one, but I emptied my Lumify eye drops. I talk about these all the time if you're not familiar. These are eye drops that are specifically for making the whites of your eyes look brighter. So if you have any eye redness, if you're super tired, or you just have allergies like I do, these are great. I always have them around. They don't take the place of lubricating eye drops, so make sure that you're following the directions on these. Oh, and I'm already using a new one. So let's move into skincare. The first thing I used up was the Indeed Labs Retinol Reface Eye Cream, and this is from their Retinol Reface line. I loved this, and I love Indeed Labs. I think if you're looking for efficacious skincare at a good price point in the teens to mid-20s, 30s, they are super reliable, they're really well formulated, and they're very dependable. So I loved this eye cream because it was very much a traditional eye cream. I like to have an eye cream with retinol in my collection. Not that you necessarily need one, but the eye area can be a little bit more sensitive. The skin is a little bit thinner. So, eye creams formulated with retinol ensure that that retinol is gentle enough to go around the eye area. To replace that, I'm currently using the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Eye Rescue, and this is really beautiful. I mean, it's like double the price of the Indeed Labs one, so I'm not saying they're necessarily comparable or that you need this one, but it has a much more luxurious feel. The formula itself is very emollient and creamy. It definitely has a more oily feel than the Indeed Labs one, which feels more like a traditional lotion. But I actually find that my eye area absorbs this eye cream really quickly and really well, even though it is more emollient, and there is retinol in here. It's also refillable, which I think is really nice. Charlotte Tilbury has made all of her packages refillable, so you just buy the little pods and you drop them into this glass bottle. Another eye care product is one I've talked about a million times. It's the Naiad Fractionated Eye Contour Concentrate. And if you're new to this product, it is basically a watery fluid eye serum. And for me, nothing depuffs the eye area like this. So I just take literally one drop from this vial and I squeeze it between my ring fingers and I tap it around the eye area, including the mobile lid, morning and night. And nothing flattens out my eye puffiness quite like this. I have hooded eyes, and when I am tired, if I've traveled, if I'm feeling sick, under the weather, a bad diet, not working out, my eyes always reveal my sins, and I always can tell when I don't have this in my collection. So this is the current one I'm using, and I've already emptied the other one. Then I've had a controversial new holy grail. So I emptied the COSRX red pimple patches. I think they're called the Master Pimple Patches. And I've been using the COSRX patches for years. They're the first ones I used, and I've always repurchased them, either the red ones for nighttime or the black ones for daytime, which are much thinner and a little bit less absorbent, but also less detectable on the skin than the red ones. Well, I have recently replaced them with the Hero Cosmetics Mighty Patch, and I have to say the Mighty Patch is so much stickier, more absorbent, and it's just a better grip than the COSRX ones. The COSRX ones, if you don't apply them on bare, dry skin, they'll slide around. So if you have any skincare on, or if you're even really oily like I am, sometimes they can slide around. Whereas the Hero Cosmetics ones, even if I've applied these after my skincare routine because I forgot to apply them before, they still stick to the skin, and I have just found them to be super reliable. Then I finished the Make Beauty Pre-Cleanse pre-cleansing fluid. It's basically their oil cleanser. And I love Make Beauty. I pretty much love every single thing that they have come out with. And I did love the formula of this cleansing oil. It's just a really straight up, like beautiful, rich cleansing oil that is somehow like very effective in breaking down makeup and SPF and mascara and everything, but it rinses clean, it doesn't leave a weird film behind, and it just does the job. My one con with this was the packaging. The pump on the bottle broke about halfway through using it, and it wouldn't press down, or if it did press down, it would squirt oil everywhere, not even out the sides of the bottle. So the bottle itself became covered in oil, and eventually I just started pouring it into my hand towards the end of the bottle because I got oil on my mirrors, on my counters, even on my clothes. Thankfully I was like in pajamas. So I don't know if that was just a defect with the particular bottle that I had or if it's an issue with their packaging. I do have another bottle that I haven't opened yet, so once I do, I'll let you know. Currently, I'm using the Sahajan Ayurvedic Blend Essential Cleansing Oil. I've talked about this before. It is such a luxe cleansing oil. It's very different from the Make Beauty one. This is based on Ayurvedic ingredients, so it has these gorgeous essential oils, but it's more of a milky oil, so it has like a cloudy, milky consistency in the bottle and in your hands. And it almost feels a little bit cushier, more emollient, and it's just a different kind of textural experience. And the scent, every single time I use it, I love the scent. It's fresh, it's kind of citrusy, kind of earthy, and it's a stunning cleansing oil. Then I finished a cleanser that made me think it is possible to have too much of a good thing. And that is the Fresh Jumbo Size Soy Face Cleanser. I have used and loved this formula for probably 15 plus years. It's just a classic gel cleanser. It smells like cucumbers. It's really refreshing. It gives me a really nice, thorough cleanse without ever stripping the skin. But the jumbo size took me forever to get through. I mean, I don't have it now, but it's probably, I think it's like 16 ounces. This is 20 ounces, if it gives you any idea. It took me probably a year and a half to finish. And throughout that time, I feel like the texture changed a little bit. It got a little bit gunkier. And because of that texture change, it started to feel like something I didn't look forward to using. And so I probably subconsciously didn't use it as much or as quickly as I should have. So it's one of those things where the jumbo is a great value. And if you love this cleanser like so many of us do, and you only use one cleanser at a time, I think it's a great value for you. But how I felt was that I'll just probably stick to the smaller ones from now on. Then I finished 2 cream cleansers that I love that are very different from each other. The first one is the Holy Frog Tashmoo Milky Milk Cleanser. And the other one is the Jordan Samuel Matinee Cream Cleanser. I've actually included both of these in a video on hydrating cleansers where I break down each formula. But the quick spark notes is that the Tashmoo cleanser is more of your traditional cream cleanser. It's almost like a milky lotion that breaks down SPF, it breaks down makeup, it leaves your skin feeling really hydrated and moisturized, and I think dry skins will love that. The Jordan Samuel Cream Cleanser is a bit of a hybrid product, in my opinion. It's like creamy with a touch of gel, and what makes this really special is the addition of silt. It actually gives it this kind of gray color, and you don't feel it. It's very, very fine, so it's not like a physical exfoliant. But I find that this gives me a really thorough cleanse, especially for a cream cleanser, and it's one of the few cream cleansers that I really love using during the summer. I do have a discount code with Jordan Samuel Skin. I think it's Becca15. I'll link that in the description box below as well. The most recent cleanser I've opened is the Ultraceuticals Ultra Calming Cleanser, and Sean and I have both been using this. This is the cleanser that's in our shower now. This is a gel cleanser, but it's a very rich, creamy gel. It's not milky, so it's not a true cream cleanser, but it's on the creamier side and it's not a watery gel. So it actually gives you time to work it into the skin to really break down any oils, SPF. So it's fragrance free. It's great for sensitive skin. If you can't handle, active ingredients or fragrance, this is a really great line for you. Then I finished 2 serums with similar names that came out around a similar time, but they're very different in texture as well as formula. So the first one is the Youth to the People Triple Peptide plus Cactus Oasis Serum. And it comes in this blue bottle. The bottle is beautiful. And it's a really bouncy, fluid, hydrating hyaluronic acid serum. But it's not just hyaluronic acid, so it's not just a hydrating serum. It does include peptides, which help with anti-aging, hence the higher price point. I loved this. I found that it gave my skin a lot of bounce. My skin just drank it up, and it never left my skin too heavy or greasy. It was a beautiful serum. I loved it. I've currently replaced it with the In Beauty Project Slushy Serum Moisturizer. I'm actually almost done with this. You can see the pump is right here, and that's how much product I have left. I've loved this. It's not exactly the same as the Youth to the People product. I don't think this has peptides, but it has bakuchiol, hyaluronic acid, and yuzu. And the reason I love this is it goes through a texture change. So it starts out as they call it a serum moisturizer. I'm gonna use it very sparingly, but it comes out as a little gel cream, but then it becomes watery, instantly. And it's super hydrating, it sinks in really nicely, plays with other skincare, so that's the hydrating serum that I've been using. The other product with a similar name is the Summer Fridays Dream Oasis Serum, but it's completely different from the Youth to the People one. So the Dream Oasis is much more like a gel cream, and that's actually how I used it. I used it as a lightweight daytime moisturizer, as well as a hydrating layer under more richer, winter routines. It contains hyaluronic acid as well as colloidal oatmeal, and also I think squalane. So it had that really nice kind of slippy squalane feel. The current product that's in my collection that I think is sort of similar to that is the Super Egg Sound Renewal moisturizer. And this is also a gel cream texture. It contains botanical extracts and antioxidants. It's such a cute little package, so you just twist off the cap. And I think it's really similar to the Dream Oasis in that it's a lightweight gel cream. It sinks into the skin really quickly. It turns almost fluid when you touch it, and it's truly weightless. So in a way, if you have dry skin, you could even use this as a serum step under a richer, more emollient moisturizer. The last serum I've emptied is one that I already have a backup of and I'm using, and it's the Dew Skin Deliverance Serum. I've raved about this so much this year. It is a milky, hydrating serum. It contains CBD that calms the skin. It also contains niacinamide that helps brighten the skin. For me, it just creates a really beautiful, even, calm skin tone. I've said this before, but if you have any redness in your skin or irritation, as long as you're not sensitive to niacinamide, this just takes that down. And I wake up with really bright, even, clear skin. And lastly, for skincare, I finished another pot of the Pharmacy Honey Halo. And it's a beautiful, rich cream. It smells like honey. There's honey in it. It's full of ceramides, so it's really great for boosting your skin barrier if you've overdone it with actives, or if you are supporting your skin with retinoids, or if you just want to help calm your skin and create a strong skin barrier, which is often overlooked. I have currently replaced that with another product from Dew Skin. This is their Instant Angel Lipid Rich Moisturizer. This also contains ceramides. It also contains squalane and peptides and urea. It's just a really beautiful, rich moisturizer, but it's not too rich that I can't use it during the day, surprisingly. I actually can if I use just a little bit, but I do like to slather it on in the evenings. And it's a similar price point. I think it's actually, I want to say Honey Halo is like in the 50s. This is 45. I do have a discount code with Dew Skin for 20% off. It's a permanent code, and that's Becca20. It's also fragrance free, so if you are sensitive to fragrance, it's a nice option. Not quite the same as Honey Halo, but another moisturizer I wanted to mention is the Youth to the People Polypeptide Future Cream. This is another moisturizer that's open in my collection right now, and it's the Youth to the People, it's the latest Youth to the People launch. So this contains lots of peptides, which are great for anti-aging. It has this like thick, bouncy texture, but it almost like melts onto your skin. So let me just show you what it looks like. So you get a little bit there, it holds its shape, and it's like this jelly consistency, but then it melts down. And I want to say this has squalane too, because it has that similar bounce that squalane gives to a moisturizer. But this is also a really nice option. It's a little bit lighter than Instant Angel, which is more of a traditional cream. Let's continue with skincare for the body. So I used up the Boscia Cica Soothing Universal Cream. This is such an interesting product. They describe this as a gel cream, and it does contain cica, ceramides, ginger root extract, lactobacillus. But I actually found this to have more of like a balm consistency. I'm gonna see if I can get some out because I really wanna show you. Oh yeah, okay. So it looks like that, and it almost feels a little bit more like a balm than it does to me of a gel cream. This had a stronger fragrance than I was hoping it would. I think, you know, cica is a calming ingredient, so I was kind of surprised that this was fragranced, let alone so heavily fragranced. It has kind of a florally scent, but it does stick around. But I did love the texture of this, and I found it to be super moisturizing. That said, I feel like I went through this really quickly. It's 3.4 ounces, and maybe because it is so thick and requires like spreading out, I found myself using a lot of it at one time, and I feel like I went through it kind of quickly. Currently, I am using a bunch of body products from Soft Surfaces, which is a new brand to me. This is the Speed Soak Skin Rehydrating Gel. And this to me feels a little bit more like a gel cream. And that's what it looks like. It has that kind of wet feel, more like a traditional gel cream. And it's a little bit lighter in texture, but similar in the fact that it's really moisturizing and really hydrating despite being a lighter texture. I think this is more of a straightforward formula. So the ingredient callouts are 6% glycerin, 3% aquasil, which I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's their proprietary hydrating formula, but they have a similar function, these two products. For something richer, I finished the Josie Maran Intensive Daily Repair Body Butter. And this is probably my favorite of the Josie Maran body butters. And I love her formula because it is rich and it's super moisturizing the way you hope from a body butter, but they actually sink in really quickly. So this line is actually formulated for eczema relief, and it contains colloidal oatmeal. It's meant to be super calming and skin barrier strengthening. And because of that, it's also unscented. So I actually think this is my favorite of all of the body butters that I've tried. I'm currently using the Aven Zero Calm AD Lipid Replenishing Balm. So this is also for sensitive skin. This is much thicker and heavier, I think, in weight than the Josie Maran. This is something I only use on my neck and chest. I don't use it on the other parts of my body because it does take a bit of time to sink in. But I use this right out of the shower, and because I'm prone to irritation and flushing and redness there, I just like to have something like this in my skincare arsenal at all times. Then I finished a ton of stuff from Necessaire. So to close out the body category, I finished up 2 of their body washes in fragrance-free, and eucalyptus. I really love that Necessaire has nice fragrance-free options, and I find that their body wash lathers really well. I don't need a ton of it to wash my whole body, especially when I use a loofah. And I also love the eucalyptus scent. It reminds me of a spa. It's very relaxing and it's just a great body wash. I don't find it's particularly moisturizing, but it also doesn't strip the skin. It's just a really nice, like, middle of the road body wash. To replace that, I have something that I basically always have on hand, which is the Bioderma shower oil. I always get the liter version because Sean and I both share this, and I use this for cleansing as well as for shaving. It doesn't clog up my razors, and it's just a lovely experience, and it leaves my skin feeling a bit more moisturized than a traditional body wash. For a more like spa-like experience, I've also been using the Grown Alchemist body cleanser. So this is in the scent chamomile, bergamot, and rose. I do think it's a little bit more bergamot forward. It has that really crisp, fresh citrus tart scent. And I actually really like using this in the morning because that citrus scent seems to wake me up, get me a little bit more energized. And I've also pumped this into the bathtub before, and I really liked it that way too. For more Necessaire, I finished the fragrance-free shampoo and conditioner, and these two really surprised me. The shampoo I find to give such a thorough cleanse. If I have a lot of product in my hair, I have an oily scalp, if I have dry shampoo buildup, it just really lathers up nicely and gives me such a good cleanse without having to use a ton of product and also without stripping the skin. So a lot of times really cleansing products can really strip and dry out the hair, and this one doesn't leave my hair feeling like straw. The conditioner is also really nice. It's very moisturizing. It's not the most detangling, but it also leaves my hair feeling really soft and shiny, and these two together are a great duo. I also love that they're fragrance-free. I know a lot of people have sensitive scalps, so I think the unscented version is a really nice option for people. I also finished the Living Proof Restore shampoo and conditioner, and these were much richer, a little bit heavier, and more emollient. So the shampoo is definitely a richer shampoo. It gives a really rich lather. It's almost a little bit too moisturizing because the Restore line is targeting dry, chemically treated hair. I found it to be cleansing, but I did find I had to wash my hair a little bit more frequently when I used that shampoo. The conditioner is almost like a hair mask. It's super rich. It definitely moisturized my hair. It brought a lot of softness and life back into my hair. So, you know, they do what they're meant to do, which is target dry hair. But I think I would use a more cleansing shampoo in between washes with this duo. And I actually did use and empty up a Christophe Robin sea salt scalp scrub in between washes using the Living Proof Restore duo. So the scalp scrub, it's like rock salt. It's very big chunks of salt, and the more you work it into the hair, it actually does lather up, even though it starts out as kind of a paste. And this one is super, it's like the most extreme end of clarifying, which sometimes you need. I use this, you know, maybe once a week or every 2 weeks to really, really get out any product, any oil, residue, gunk. It does have a tendency to leave my hair a little bit dry, which is why I only use it once in a while. But, you know, sometimes you just need that like hardcore scalp scrub. I finally finished up the Gisou Heat Protectant. It's their propolis infused heat protectant, and I loved it. It was a super fine mist. It gave me heat protection. It did its job without weighing my hair down, and this bottle lasted me for like a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. I really love Gisou hair products. I haven't tried a ton from them, but everything I've tried, I've really loved. Currently, I have replaced that with the Ceremonia Guava Rescue Spray, which is a UV and heat protective detangler. So it's kind of a multitasker. Let me tell you, the guava line from Ceremonia smells insane. It's so fruity, so delicious. It makes my mouth water. It makes me want like a yummy icy, sweet treat. It has that tropical vibe, of course. I think Ceremony is now in Sephora, which is really exciting. Definitely go try the guava line. This is a little bit richer than the Gizu heat protectant, which is just a straight up heat protectant. This is also a detangler, so it has some more conditioning properties, I think. It's a little bit weightier, a little bit creamier, so I can adjust how much I use depending on what I'm using it for, but it just makes me so happy, and I can't say enough good things about the guava scent. So that's everything from me today. The highlights across 49 empties, basically $1,000 plus worth of product. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you've emptied anything recently yourself that I should know about, anything you think I should try, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.